Thank you. I think I can see the most resilient people here. Not cities, but people, because you actually made it to this moment. You didn't leave, or you came later. Also here and online. So this is fabulous. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm a professional speaker to some extent. Just 2 days ago, I was giving a 3-hour lectures in Aalto. I'm well prepared. I see that you are very interested, so I would be very enthusiastic to go into that, or to show at least 1 or 2 slides, which I don't do, obviously, because I can see that my role is actually to thank you. I will come later to thank you, Bart, and then also to come to try to summarize a bit what has been discussed today as well. And first of all, I also have to mention as a start off that I've been moving more hands-off from this event, and I can see that me being hands-off is actually a good thing for a forum as such. So every time it's getting actually better, and I'm very thankful for that. I think like this comparison between city and society and people and body is something that we can all take away with. And then I think like city is even a bit more messy than a body, because city is actually a sum of all bodies, all people in the environment, in a positive and negative way. And what makes it even more difficult is that every moment there's a change in this body from a people's perspective. If I think about city as a accumulation of everybody here, or everybody in the same place, then every moment somebody is born, and every moment somebody is dead. And then it gets even more trickier, because every moment somebody comes to the city, like many of you have traveled here from very many places, and you are here, you're part of that city. Even though very often it is thought that city is mainly for residents or citizens, but it is actually not, especially in cities like Tallinn, where in many places all the time you have more tourists and more visitors than citizens themselves. And I think it is also not normative in a way that needs to be, and I think that was discussed as well, that this accumulation of cities is both good and bad at the same time. There's drug centers and there are kindergartens, and there are very terrible things happening during the nights, and there are very nice things happening as well. So this is the mess we are actually dealing with. And then if you think about resilience, I like this concept as well of dividing it into the natural disasters and man-made or conflicts ones as well. And I also like this analogy that sometimes working with conflicts can take the negative side out of a human being, and then sometimes, or being in the conflict, let's say, and sometimes being in the natural disasters can actually take the positive side out of a human being. And this is actually really fundamental if we talk about human settlement and if we talk human beings as well, because we as humans, and this is actually psychologically proven as well. A very long time ago, I was listening to a lecture of one of the most famous psychologists born to Estonia, but he's a US psychologist, Jan Valsiner. And back then, like, it didn't make sense to me, because he was saying that we as humans, we are trained to adapt very rapidly. And he gave an analogy that if a war starts, next day we are different. We are acting different as human beings. We are acting different as a society. It's not only with war, it's all kind of terrible shocks that changes how we are acting. And we can actually be the ones we don't want to be, both in a positive and negative way. So this is something really difficult to consider. On the other hand, like with this kind of thinking about the similarity to human psychology as well is that resilience is very much related to stress. But in terms of stress, there's like positive stress, eustress, and negative stress, distress, at the same time. So in a way, sometimes you need like a small problem, small conflict to avoid a bigger one. And sometimes like a positive development in the city environment, like everybody has been there, everybody has seen that you know, let's have this utopic idea to have a metro connection in Tallinn, and the next 10, 20 years, it's a mess. Everybody hates it. And this is also like kind of resilience because also from a positive side, because the aim is a positive, but there is stress, and sometimes there's like a negative stress, sometimes there's a positive stress as well. And I also liked the idea of thinking about different cities and different sizes of cities, and also the dependency on technology that came out throughout everywhere. And I think here definitely like smaller cities tend to be more resilient, mainly because of less dependencies from infrastructure side. And on the other hand, you can only grow a city like London with help of technology, and you can only grow to a city like London if you manage with dependencies on the technology as well. So on the other hand, like the risks are increasing as well. 3 years ago at the same time, I was in Palo Alto. And then if you are in Palo Alto, city of Palo Alto in California, you think that this is actually the Silicon Valley, the most invested environment. It is very posh, it is very green. This is a place where like the most successful startup founders have invested into the public libraries and public parks. They are fascinating. At the same time, several times, I lost connection to electricity. I lost connection to internet. And this is Palo Alto, this is California. Infrastructure, electricity infrastructure is quite weak. And also internet infrastructure wasn't that good, to be honest, compared to what we have here. And obviously there was more nature-related challenges as well, flooding and storm and so on. On the other hand, even without traffic lights in Palo Alto and cities around, small ones, there wasn't any real effect. Obviously, people were chatting about it, but this is a village by size. And for a village, you don't need the traffic lights and technology. Whereas if you go to London, everybody that has been there or lived there know that even if it's a rumor that there will be snow in London, everybody's afraid. The city just is so dependent, and the infrastructure and the volume is so much different, and that is definitely something to be considered. And then also I think we come to the point that to what level we can anticipate, estimate the things what are happening, and to what level we cannot. And I think the true answer is that nobody knows. There are trends, there are things going on, but in a way managing resilience and managing people within resilience, within the cities is managing uncertainty. That doesn't mean that it's not possible to be prepared. This is the opposite. But maybe the preparation is not coming directly planning for the historical challenges only, but we have to learn from Valencia, we have to learn from Kiev, we have to learn from everybody, we have to learn from other cities. But on the other hand, I think this essentially comes to the capabilities of people, capabilities of cities as institutions, but also capabilities of everybody within the city as environment who are operating. And this makes it more resilient and stronger. And I think also like that was very, very nicely mentioned that it is not only human beings aging in the city environment, it is also the city infrastructure constantly aging in minute by minute. And that means that all cities are under constant rebuilding that never ends. And that is like a challenge from all kind of way where we talk about buildings or roads. But this is the kind of dynamic component of that. It will never be ready. And if you are a child and you like to play with Legos, you think that once I build my city, this is ready in the city, whether it's Tallinn or London or Valencia or Kiev or Oslo, like it never, or Helsinki, it never be ready. And this is the kind of logic. I think also like another key point to take away is that first of all, data is not intelligence. It's very important that very often it is assumed that there's a linear path, that more data, better intelligence, better data, better intelligence. Of course, you need better data. On the other hand, it's also important to say that without data, there's no intelligence. So this works. Like you cannot have intelligence if you don't have data, but data doesn't lead automatically to intelligence. And what also came out from a kind of human or this body perspective is that and then like also like we have been looking a bit into the city dashboards and so on, and there were like very good examples as well. That very often like the actual getting people physically online, virtually, into the same space, talking about challenges is more effective, more important than those dashboards. To make sense of the challenges we have. And I think also like what I liked constantly as well that went through is cybersecurity and fake news. This is like, and then like I think this especially like this part of Europe as well, that Baltic states, Finland have been under constant cyber attack, and sometimes this is IT related. This today, there was a message out that if you go to the governmental websites in Estonia and you are asked about you are not a robot test, this is hacked. Don't do it. There was like a colleague send it out to everybody. But this is what is happening on every day. But even more importantly, the challenge is with fake news. That like this can be positive side, as we saw with the case of Helsinki as well, used for the for a better kind of crisis management scenarios. But in the case of this constant cyber attack, and we know where it's coming from, or we assume where it's coming from, fake news are influencing people in Tallinn like in a systematic way, because my own experience has been that as a parent, I have received a message that in the school my daughter goes to, next day somebody will be killed. And this is the actual message that comes to you as a parent. And then what happens is that many parents just don't send their children to that school. But that went to many schools, and then police sent out the counter message that most likely nobody cannot be killed, but this was the kind of a it spread very quickly. And then a couple of years ago, the same was with kindergartens. That most kindergartens in Tallinn received bomb warnings. And the same happened that many parents didn't take their children to kindergarten. And this is the goal is actually to push and disrupt the society and spread this fake news. The goal is not to have any it's going step by step, so to say. Okay, as said, I can go forever. I have already used 1 more minute when I wanted to. But I'll come to the thank you side because first of all, I want to thank audience. I want to thank audience here, but I also want to thank audience online because we have many people joining in online. And I also want to specifically thank everybody that traveled further than from Tallinn, whether it's Helsinki or Tartu or wherever you have come from. This is very, very much appreciated, and we really like this part. And the reason why I want to thank you coming from outside is that we had so many questions from audience. If you have audience only locally from Estonia, we don't have a culture of asking many questions. Asking a question is something that you have to have a really proper good question, otherwise you don't ask it. So this is what Estonians do. On the other hand, we had so much discussion, so much debate, and so on. And I also want to thank, as I said, I have been hands-off from organizing it, but I want to thank our own internal team for organizing it, starting with Reili, Anne and Katlin for putting it together, and then also going to many people that have joined it, helping to organize it. Who I can see here, like Silla and Luisa and Lita and Henry and Külle. And I'm taking a risky move here because usually if I'm naming people specifically from my own team, I'm always forgetting somebody that is actually the most important. Sorry for that. So I wanted to mention you as well, but I'm on stage and I can sometimes make mistakes. And then the party is not over. We will have some networking. I don't know how it's as a format, but I assume that there's some cocktails and some fun. And I really hope that you can join. Sorry, online. This is probably only here, I assume. And then there's also an event tomorrow co-hosted with City of Tallinn. If you don't know what it is, but if you're here and want to learn more what City of Tallinn is doing and what we are doing with our piloting program as a FinEst center, this is an invitation to you. There are still possibilities to join. If you want to join, if you have some questions, then you can go to Külle here in front. And if you want to have a calendar invitation, either online or on spot, just write, I was told, info@finestcenter.eu. Or go to Külle or myself or somebody with that and say it. Okay, but I think that's all. I will give it back to Silver and thank you. Yeah.